Hello, I'm Penny Slade Sawyer. I am a Republican, and I have spent my entire professional career preventing disease and promoting health. America, the greatest country in the history of the world, has stumbled. America has failed to contain the worst health crisis in over 100 years, and in our failure, we have experienced immense suffering, lost jobs, lost homes, lost lives, not enough sleep, not enough money, not enough food, not enough hope. The reasons we've done so poorly are complicated. For the purposes of this message, I will list three. One, COVID is a new, highly contagious virus. That means we have a lot to learn about it, and COVID is not waiting for our scientists to get it all figured out. Two, based on what we already know, in order to contain COVID, our large, complex country must come together and pull together. Without good health, there is little economic wealth. The fastest way to restore a robust economy is to work together to restore our health, all for one and one for all. Three, we need high-level leadership, laser focused on uniting us, comforting us, showing us in words and deeds that even though the actions necessary to contain the virus are not perfect, if we all carry them out, we can contain COVID and return to our lives. President Trump has not made America great as we address COVID-19 and its fallout. President Trump's leadership has been inadequate to unite us and lead us. During a worldwide pandemic like COVID-19, clear, understandable, and actionable communication based on facts and delivered by trusted leaders can help motivate people to make choices that benefit themselves, their loved ones, and their communities. Conversely, during a crisis, if leaders create narratives by ignoring, misrepresenting, or simply confusing facts, truth is compromised and trust is weakened. When leaders undermine experts and choose to ignore fact-based information, those they lead may become befuddled, not knowing who to believe or what actions to take. Many Americans admire and trust President Trump. They follow his lead, betting their lives and livelihoods on his interpretation of the science and his advice on how to cope with COVID. The costs of following President Trump continue to mount in lost health, wealth, and life. I am shocked and disheartened by President Trump's wishful thinking that the virus might disappear or that his administration has the virus under control. His apparent failure to grasp the developing science around this novel pathogen is frightening. His inability to lead America through the narrow pathways that preserve individual liberty when possible, yet serve to promote good health for all, is a grave failure in my eyes. President Trump's decisions regarding COVID-19 are only one example of how inferior leadership harms us in the present. There are obvious others in areas like immigration, race relations, and statesmanship. He has sown seeds of divisiveness that separate us and lead us to see those different from ourselves in race or creed or national origin as threatening our way of life. And I fear that unless we act in positive and assertive ways, These destructive ideas may outlive his presidency and harm our future. I hope that soon the Republican Party can again become a party that appeals to large groups of Americans with wide-ranging, compassionate, conservative opinions. I hope the party's new leaders will step back from the overheated media frenzy that whipsaws all of us from crisis to crisis and engage in meaningful conversations that repair long neglected funding for our public health heroes and reform long-standing inequities in our communities. These threaten our traditions and families and businesses. I hope that our country can heal its wounds, that public trust can be restored in government, in the rule of law, in impartial justice, in the founding principles that made our country the best that's ever been. I hope you will vote. I hope you will vote to affirm and strengthen the principles that support and sustain the United States of America. This is an important moment in our country's story. Thank you for all you're doing to make it successful.